Dreamland with your Sensie Owl Bob. This device is the battery isn't charging too well, so this show may not last too long. But I have something for you to see, and let's see what you think of it. Okay.
Y'all, listen to this guy. Crazy what he says.
Poor people of America. Not because they are weak, but because they were first to see the machine from the inside. And I'm about to defend the working class of America like no one ever did. And by the time I finish, you'll see them with different eyes. For over a century, the American people have been fighting back. They have. Through civil disobedience, whistleblowers, grassroots movements, union strikes, and the relentless invocation of their constitution. The real battle wasn't red versus blue. It was corporation versus constitution. And every time the people gained ground, the system adapted. You have to understand something very important. When a system becomes parasitic, it doesn't destroy its enemies first. It destroys the host. And America has been the host. America was also the test lab. They were first to be flooded with addictive pharmaceuticals. First to be buried in weaponized debt. First to be psychologically fractured by engineered identity wars. First to be entertained into sedation. And first to be punished. Because if Americans woke up fully, it would be game over for the machine. That's why the system doesn't fear a foreign enemy. It fears the awakening of its own people. The American people are a hero, but no one told them they were living in the dragon's mouth. And what you're witnessing in the collapse of trust, the social chaos, the inability to distinguish truth from manipulation isn't because the people have failed. It's because the people have been systematically broken and then blamed for it. They are not the tyrants. They are the first line of resistance that's being crushed preemptively, so the rest of the world won't get any ideas. So what now? Do we abandon them? Do we mock them? Or do we finally recognize that behind the opioid crisis, the obesity, the division, and the rage is a population in mourning? Mourning the death of its sovereignty, its family structures, and its purpose. The question isn't whether Americans deserve to be free. The question is whether they remember that they were born to be.
Y'all, listen to this guy. Crazy what he says.
Poor people of America. Not because they are weak, but because they were the first to see the machine from the inside. And I'm about to defend the working class of America like no one ever did. And by the time I finish, you'll see them with different eyes. For over a century, the American people have been fighting back. They have. Through civil disobedience, whistleblowers, grassroots movements, union strikes, and the relentless invocation of their constitution. The real battle wasn't red versus blue. It was corporation versus constitution. And every time the people gained ground, the system adapted. You have to understand something very important. When a system becomes parasitic, it doesn't destroy its enemies first. It destroys the host. And America has been the host. America was also the test lab. They were first to be flooded with addictive pharmaceuticals. First to be buried in weaponized debt. First to be psychologically fractured by engineered identity wars. First to be entertained into sedation. And first to be punished. Because if Americans woke up fully, it would be game over for the machine. That's why the system doesn't fear a foreign enemy. It fears the awakening of its own people. The American people are a hero, but no one told them they were living in the dragon's mouth. And what you're witnessing in the collapse of trust, the social chaos, the inability to distinguish truth from manipulation isn't because the people have failed. It's because the people have been systematically broken and then blamed for it. They are not the tyrants. They are the first line of resistance that's being crushed preemptively, so the rest of the world won't get any ideas. So what now? Do we abandon them? Do we mock them? Or do we finally recognize that behind the opioid crisis, the obesity, the division, and the rage is a population in mourning? Mourning the death of its sovereignty, its family structures, and its purpose. The question isn't whether Americans deserve to be free. The question is whether they'll remember that they were born to be.
Y'all listen to this guy. Crazy what he says.
Poor people of America. Not because they are weak, but because they were the first to.
This administration wants anyone who has ever committed a crime to be held accountable. And the Trump administration is committed to truth and to transparency.
Oh my God!
Hatred has no place in the United States of America under President Donald Trump. Because they trust he acts in the best interest of our country and putting the American public first. This administration wants anyone who has ever committed a crime to be held accountable.
That's the girl right there. That's the girl. She's the spokeswoman. That's her. That's her right there.
Into transparency.
Oh my God!
That's her. And that's what's his name?
Hatred has no place in the United States of America under President Donald Trump. Because they trust he acts in the best interest of our country and putting the American public first. This administration wants.
What the media isn't telling you. A priest!
This is bull, right? This is the problem with debating with pathological liars. It's like trying to nail jelly to the wall. It's messy, it's pointless, and everybody watching knows that you're wasting your time. Pathological liars don't argue with you. They argue to exhaust you, right? The whole point is to drag you into pointless and a maze of circular logic that you either give up or you lose your temper, right? You present evidence, they question the source. You give them the sources are biased. You show them video footage, the footage is taken out of context. You give them the context, it's complicated. For them, truth is not a destination. Truth is a moving target, right? Everything can be always debated, including gravity, right? Reality for them is another opinion. War crimes becomes allegation, becomes a conflict, dead children becomes casualties in a very sad, complex situation. Words have no meaning anymore, right? So they do all of that while maintaining this calm, reasonable demeanor. This is bull, right? This is the problem with debating with pathology.
This Christmas, all people.
How do you expect us to eat this goop shit? Oh,
I see that look in your eye.
no, you leave my restaurant. Go away.
I'm not going to fight.
Let's go now. Listen, Charlie Chan. Ah! Now maybe we should leave.
Excuse me, guys.
What the
Let me
hell?
help you up, Mr. Kwan.
No, there's only 3 of them.
You know you were trying the wrong techniques against these skinheads. No offense, guys.
Who the f*** are you?
But an elbow would have been a lot better. John. I think your food is great.
I see that look in your eye.
Friends, just like I said earlier, Mr. Taco would never get a Nobel Peace Prize. But I was wrong. Because now, I think he actually deserves it. Why? Because he did the impossible. He's the only man in history who united all powerful countries against the USA. Every single week, he's barking. I put 200% tariff. I can destroy China. Russia will face very severe consequences. And even he was the one who stopped the India-Pakistan war. Meanwhile, Indians are just sitting back wondering, why is this orange man barking for so long? Even I got a news that he tried to calling PM Modi 4 times, and Modi didn't answer once, not even a missed call back. But honestly, that's still better than Melania, because she didn't just ignore him. She put this orange man on permanent airplane mode. Yeah.
My grandson just exposed a secret to Social Security.
Why Christians? Remember, the Soviet Union made a statement that we could control all of our entire population except the Christians.
Do you reckon it's time to go to,
Governors in blue states are quietly exploring a novel legal theory to resist Donald Trump. And if they're successful, it could change the balance of power in the Constitution forever. I'm Cheyenne. I'm an attorney that works in government and politics, so let me break it down for you. The term soft secession is becoming more common among Democratic governors and attorneys general across the country. Formal secession is unconstitutional, and that would be a state breaking off and no longer being a part of the United States government. But soft secession is financial and mostly has to do with wealthy blue states withholding their resources and money from a hostile federal government. If Democratic governors are able to do this, it would massively derail Donald Trump and his agenda. That's because on average, blue states are what's known as giver states, meaning...
This pissed off a lot of Americans. Let me tell you why. Did you know that if you're an American and you're at least 50 years old, you could be eligible for this $25,000 funeral benefit coverage? It's true. The industry doesn't want you to know about this, and it's the reason why you've been...
Prime Minister of Israel shows so much disrespect towards the president of my country. No, he never had any respect at all. Netanyahu here is mocking Bill Clinton, and he's mocking the American people for being essentially a bunch of grasshoppers, that he can do whatever he...
I'm sorry, excuse me. I see 2 sisters standing. Why are the sisters standing and the brothers sitting?
If we want to sit, we can ask.
Well, you ladies got to speak up for yourselves.
Same 40 years ago.
There's no statute of limitations on chivalry.
That's gendered and sexist.
And bizarre tragedy after his wife cheated. This 60s.
Why is Israel annexing the West Bank, which of course is not governed by at all? Why are Israeli settlers allowed to just run Palestinians out of their legal homes, build thousands of illegal settlements? West Bank has nothing to do with. Why is Israel annexing it? Why did Netanyahu say that his stated goal in an interview with I-24 News, an Israeli publication, say that he has a religious need to pursue the greater Israel
I'm going to let
project?
Scott answer quickly, and then we've got to go. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Scott.
My view is this. The hostages have been there for almost 700 days. There's a reason that Hamas has not
Are you going to
released
answer
them.
her question?
I don't
He's
know.
not.
I don't
He's not
work for
gonna
the Israeli
answer.
government.
Why is Israel annexing the West Bank, which of course is not governed by at all?
We walk into the principal's office, to the secretary. I've spent my life.
Really? Johns, we beating men in chains now.
You know, friends, our Mr. Taco is on a mission. First, he claimed, I ended the war between...
You have to hear this.
Listen to me. I'm going to go and get that customer's salary.
This administration promised to help.
I leave you with my revised list of the 2 commandments. Thou shalt always be honest and faithful to the provider of thy nookie. And thou shalt try real hard not to kill anyone, unless, of course, they pray to a different invisible man from the one you pray to. 2 is all you need. Moses could have carried him down the hill in his fucking pocket. And if they had a list like that, I wouldn't mind those folks in Alabama putting it up on the courthouse wall. As long as they included one additional commandment, thou shalt keep thy religion to thyself. I leave you with my...
Somebody did send me something today that said Trump said he didn't know me.
He said he didn't know you. I actually have this tweet right here.
Tweet.
Oh, well, that's a little look at what the YouTube's got. That's all given to me by my my high hippie holy algorithm. So, what do you guys think? Is this the end of times, right? Are we in a fascist dictatorship? Or are we just noticing it? You know, education is the key, right? You can just see how the machine is going after education. I mean, they basically, at the turn of the 19th century, gave us free education, right? Of course, it was segregated, but it's still manufactured workers, right? Who could count, who could kind of read, and would do what the corporate structure wanted. And now, you know, from the 70s to Obama time, because Obama really wasn't a representation of, oh, look, we have total, you know, everyone's kumbaya, baby. No. Obama was put there for 8 years to basically precipitate these non-existent racial barriers, right? Oh man, I mean, come on. We're all, you know. Let's stop being color. Let's, you know. No, I'm, you know, everyone's cool, but you know, we can't be prejudiced against white people. That's like terrible. Anyway, now the school systems, again, calling Donald Trump a fascist. No. He's a symptom of the fascism that has been around since 1776, right? And what is fascism? But it's not communism. Communism is state capitalism, right? No, it's not that. It's oligarchy. It's a plutocratic corporate state. It's crony capitalism. You know, capitalism, you know, like Adam Smith's capitalism, that would be cool, you know, but we don't have that, you know, come on. Blueberries. They were on sale. These were $6, but then they started to rot, so they sold them to me for $2, which was probably what they're basically worth. But anyway, let's see. I don't have my reading glasses, so I can't even see what that says. Come on, guys, start writing stuff and put it in capitals so your Sensie Owl Bob can read them. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with your Sensie Owl Bob. And how about some thumbs up? There's 7 of you guys there. How about 7 thumbs up? Come on, you can do it. How about some subscribers? You know, come on, you can do that. No big deal. Doesn't take anything out of your pocket. But if you want to put something out of your pocket, you know, we can go to the old PayPal and put something in where I'm going to say, who is it? That's, you know, that's the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. And if you want to talk to me, mano y mano, ask me questions about yourself, that I can give you some insightful opinions. And don't believe a word I say, right? All of this is just opinions, right? Until it, you know, comes knocking at your door. Then it's not an opinion anymore. I'm your puppy dog. Who loves you, baby? Hello. Said hi. Well, that's nice. Hi. Don't you got an opinion? Come on. What's your opinion? Let's hear something from you guys. Instead of, again, my devices, I live in a holler. Everything's kind of dank. And digital devices don't like dank stuff. So my laptop, which I used to do shows off, is... And this little platform, this little thingamajig, it's about... and so I may not be doing shows very much longer, but I have more than 2,500 shows. And they're all valid. And I would go way back to the beginning 8 years ago and start watching them from there until now and see the validity of my insights, right? And people, hey, you're reading the tea leaves again, Al. You're reading the tea leaves, you know. You're always talking about the same thing. You know, that brother who was talking about the heroic American citizen and the machine, right? You know, I call it the hidden hand. Other people call it, you know, the Illuminati. You can give it any name you want, but it's a transnational, plutocratic mechanism for planetary control. And they want to bring on a new motif, a new market, let's say. And that is, you know, they have already stepped out into the stars about 100 years ago. Tesla kind of in the 1870s, 80s, and 90s developed zero-point energy, wireless transmission of current, and the understanding of scalar energetics, right? And then, you know, the guy who invented the, what's his name? Nice little German guy, Wilhelm Reich. You know, his books, you know, it's against the law to read his books. And they made it so in the late 40s, early 50s, because he discovered how to get rid of disease, meaning, and that is to have, you know, what is disease? It's a lack of ease, right? And so there we go. That's why I live out here. And again, this ain't the really most beautiful part of the green, deep green. I mean, this is nice, but where I live, it's sacramental, right? Let's see. I'll show you some pictures of it. Do. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, here you go. This is my deep green. There's the deck. There's my gardening supplies. This goes all the way up here. This is about, from here to there is about a football field and a half. And that's going out to the death road. And this goes up to the deck. And then my property is up. All these really tall trees up there are poplars. So I have this nice open space, and this is all medicinal and flowering herbs and shrubs and trees. And then way off, all around the circle is tall poplars. See those tall poplars up there, about 2 football fields away. And all this area has been cleared out. And I have 4 pads to build 4 nice houses, but I didn't. I just have the deck. And this is the Forest Service Road. This is around 9 in the morning. This is the sun coming up from the west. And that's the other direction. That's going out. So that's about a 2-mile Forest Service Road to where it gets to the death road. Here's the morons, you can hear them. And this is my little art piece. You know, I have little art pieces all over. Right? Again, the deck. Let's see.
Here we are, deep green, Sunday morning. Hear that background noise? That's the not crickets, but not locusts, but it's this buzzy. Don't want to be on the video. Birds singing. About to head off to church. So this is the standalone garage with deck. This was refrigerator. Now it's table. This is homage to Holler Living. Meaning too much stuff and no space. There's the sun's rising. It's about 8:30-ish, give or take. Sweet potatoes on the bubble. So we're about a third done with the spring cleaning. Oh, there's time being eaten away. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so that's a good picture of where I live, how I live. And let's see what he's saying here. Remember you. Yeah, I remember you. I think I remember you. Anyway, so go check out my shows, from 8 years ago. They're all there, right? And anybody wants to, take them down and save them, because who knows what's going to happen. But this has been happening since Babylon. This ain't nothing new, right? So just, read whatever book you want about the past, and that's kind of what the future is going to be. Good Mr. Orwell in 1984 basically made that point. Before things go in the memory hole, take a look. And me, I'm just old, right? And I'm enjoying every moment of my existence because I am in love's co-creation, right? I'm not, going after anything. And, my whole life, things have been not given to me, but put in front of me. And I have any skill set at all, it is to know my 20 and my 360, and to be in the right place at the right time to see what's going on and either jump in or walk away, right? And both are a gift. Both are God's co-creation. Both are the sanctified faith that the Creator has in me, right? Faith ain't me having, faith in the Creator. No, faith is the Creator having faith in me. So I praise Jesus, praise God. Now those words are irrelevant, right? What's in my heart is what matters. And that is, the only people who know that is love's co-creation and me, my heart. And not my thoughts. My thoughts aren't me. They are just, dynamics of the illusionary world, right? And not what I am. And that movie, The Matrix, was trying to get at that point. Those people really, the male-female crew who wrote and directed and produced The Matrix, that had a lot more. But the more interesting ideas were left on the cutting room floor. And so it is what it is. It's what you get out of it, in co-creation with love, right? Not what your trophy spouse, your big car, your big house that you don't even own. You are overextended. And I used to work in a corporate world as a negotiator for the desperate lawyers, right? Because they would paint themselves in a corner, and then they'd have to hope, pray, burn candles and incense that I could get them out of the corner, right? And most times all you had to do is just take the shortest line between your being in a corner and that door to get out, and you take your shoes off and you wear the socks, and you keep your shoes on and you walk across the wet floor, and just before you get out the door, then you take your shoes off because the bottom is all covered with paint. And but you make the shortest line, right? And so the next day, when everything dries, you get out a little sanding pad and you sand out your footprints, and then you paint over that, and bingo bango, it's perfect. And that's always been my basic strategy, right? So here it is, 20 minutes and 7 seconds, and I'm sure I don't have too many moments left, so I'm gonna bail from this because no one's making an interesting comment. And this show, it depends on you guys talking, right? So what is that other mechanism? Whoops. Yeah, I don't have too much. I'm reconnected. So anyway, catch you guys later.